I want to give a couple more factoids, if you will, before I get back to the rest of the story. I am giving all this information not just to be dramatic, but there is a reason for this. Again, I'm the first person in my family to go to college, to graduate from college. I have never seen anything like this before, as far as the privilege and the extravagance that was just put on display with these white booster societies. And it was very, very obvious the social advantage, later on the academic advantage, and then I'll get to the political advantage. But again, being a member of a white booster society, particularly one of the top ones at UCLA, somewhat gave you the keys to the university. And that was very, very obvious. And it was also very, very obvious that this social club was exclusive to one group of people. Okay? And that's another reason why I want to make this video. I believe I've already said this, but during my time at UCLA, about 30% of the student body was white, about 30% of the student body was in a white booster society. Do the fucking math. Damn near every white person on campus was in a white booster society. For those of you who are like, oh, my sorority had 2 black girls. Again, I don't really care that your white booster society had a handful of members of color, or even that you had several members of color. That does not change the fact that the whole purpose of these societies, of these literal white booster societies, is to keep in power a very specific demographic of people. But it's more than that. Again, are y'all picking up what I'm putting down? Like, these are the people who go on to become judges, attorneys, politicians, police chiefs, firemen, okay? These people that come out of these white booster societies. And when I talked about earlier about the academic advantage, I'll talk about the political advantage in a later part. But being in a white booster society, especially at UCLA, which is a huge research institution, which means undergraduate education is not the priority, is not the focus. It's not where UCLA gets all their funding and their big name. It's because of their PhD and master's programs, their research, right? That's where UCLA gets all their prestige and all their money and their reputation. Being in a white booster society makes communal cheating a lot easier. Literally, and I'm not making shit up. This is all things that I have been told multiple times by various different people. And I'm talking about both in the sororities and the fraternities, so both the men and the women, like sitting in circles and taking group quizzes together. Again, in a research institution such as UCLA, where the professors do not change their exams because, again, they don't care about the undergrads. They're there to do their research, and they are obligated to teach an undergrad class or two as part of their research requirements or as part of their tenure. I don't know if I'm using the right vocabulary, right? But hopefully y'all understand what I'm putting down. Again, the tests don't change. Guess who are the organizations on campus who have the largest collections of tests, which are never changed, right? Well, geez, it's the white booster societies that have been on campus since the 1920s, 30s, and 40s, okay? So the last point that I want to make, of which there are many different points that I could make about this, but we do need to just get back to the story and how this all even relates. The last thing I want to make is that when I say white booster society, I am not talking about a professional fraternities or multicultural fraternities. So I'm pretty sure the term is Pan-Hellenic white booster societies. I'm not talking about the Latino sororities and fraternities. I'm not talking about the black fraternities or sororities. So like alphas, right? And then the deltas in the black sororities, right? Again, and then there's anyway, there's I'm not talking about those. Those are different. They don't choose you in a matter of 1 week. It's not a 1 week process where they literally just pick and choose who's the richest, best looking, whitest members. There's those organizations, you rush for about a month. Like, they really get to know you. They don't welcome like 40, 50, or 100 people like these white booster societies, because all those people are paying money. Their classes, their incoming classes are much smaller, like under 10. It's a much more intensive process. It's not all about just getting the wealthiest people together and the whitest people together. So please, I want to make that distinction very, very clear. So why did I bother to break this all down in 2 different videos? Because I believe that this would be the best way for you to understand and get the sentiment of the traumatic process that it was when Jane was invited to Rush, her older sister's sorority, after her older sister passed away. She was personally invited, and I'm going to talk about how and why that was such a traumatic experience for her. I witnessed it. I had to be there for her. And I have a particular, even though we've kind of gone our separate ways and it's been a minute, I kind of have a little bit of unforgiveness in my heart for the way that these girls treated Jane. So I'll start talking about that in the next video.